Hey, Don.
Hey, Jacob.
Are you ready for 5 Start again.
We don't have time for this, Jacob.
Go. Hey, Don.
Hey, Jacob.
Are you ready for 5... Damn it! Photography. Hey, Don.
This is all staying in.
It is, absolutely.
Otherwise, I won't be able to explain why I'm starting the episode crying.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Jacob.
Are you ready for Photography Secrets Revealed? Part 2. That only took 17 takes for the record. So,
Okay.
Dawn has to leave in 45 minutes for her shoot. So, let's just keep her laughing the whole time.
Okay.
You good?
I'm good. I am ready for more photography secrets.
Well, people liked it last time, so more of our secrets that we use on everyday shoots to help you.
Yes. Can you believe that was 20 episodes ago? That's crazy.
Wow.
That's like blew my mind.
20 episodes.
That's like 5 months
5
ago.
likes an episode. It's like 100 likes. When did we start this? August?
I think our first episode came out in September.
Oh, look at us go.
I know. Okay, sorry. Getting sidetracked.
So can we get any secrets, podcast secrets revealed?
No podcast secrets.
There's none here.
Maybe like things not to do? I'm not really sure.
Okay, we'll get there.
Okay, so I think we can kind of divide this into like communication secrets and then like actual shooting secrets. So let's start with like some communication stuff.
What you got?
So one thing that I learned from you,
this is true,
for sure, is to always know where the bride is at all times.
100%.
Like, I had a wedding a few weeks ago where I lost sight of the bride, and I asked the DJ, and I asked the planner, and everyone else was like, oh, no, I don't know where she is. I'm like, how do you not know? Like, I was panicking that I didn't know where the bride was.
It's always one of my go-to secrets when people ask me, I'm like, where's the bride? I always know where the bride is 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds weird. She's in the bathroom. How do you know that? Don't worry about it.
But I love when they just like lift their eyes to look for me and I'm already looking at them.
Yep.
And I can just walk straight over to them and do whatever they need. Like I don't ever want my couple to be like hunting for me.
Correct.
So that's mostly why. And then also like sometimes other people just aren't paying attention and they'll be like, okay, next song we're doing the bouquet toss. I'm like, the bride hasn't been in the room for 4 songs.
Yeah.
We got to find, like, you can't do the bouquet toss. Like, didn't you hear her? She was in the fight with someone or, whatever. Like,
and I don't know why, but I get this weird satisfaction of like when the DJ comes up to me and I won't even move. They'll be like, oh, do you know where the bride is?
Yep.
Yeah, she's out there in the back. Not even turning around. I'm like, she's 2 doors down to the left.
Yes.
And he's like, how do you know that? It's like, because it's my job to know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's the type of thing that can go a really long way in your couple's experience in working with you. Like just that they've never needed to look for you because you always have eyes on them. You always know like where they might need you. If we're at like a barn venue and they step outside, I'm going to like meander outside, keep an eye on them through the windows, like see what's going on, especially when they first go out because they might be like greeting new people or whatever, but
it's a little serial killery, but you know.
But that's what we're paid to be there for. So
always know where your bride is. Mm-hmm. And sometimes too, when it goes down, like, I said, there have been instances of fights or like emergencies where like someone passed out, knowing where she is, knowing that like, hey, I'm going to keep you inside because you don't need to worry about what's going on out there. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, be like, I'm going to take him outside for a couple more photos. Mm-hmm. Knowing that she's not in there or whatever it may be. And there is something to be said too about I hate, and it does still happen even when you know with a bride, when someone comes around to you like, oh, we need this photo, like because you weren't in the room. Usually it's like a family member that like it doesn't matter, it has nothing to do with the couple. Mm-hmm. But still, I don't like that that feeling where they were searching for me. So, and I know it sounds weird, but you knowing where the bride is also puts you in the position where the bride is, which I know sounds dumb, but that means people know where you are because. If there's a bride, there's a photographer. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking on her back. Mm-mm.
No, you just know you have eyes at all times.
I always joke that like we're also like Roz from Monsters, Inc. I'm like, always watching. Even when I'm not shooting, I'm always just observing what's going on. All right. Another secret that I also use a lot is, and this is going to sound super dumb, but like you'd be surprised, is be excited. Mm-hmm. And again, you may have to fake it. I don't fake it. It usually comes out pretty naturally to me. Like I get real excited when, a really cool photo op is happening. And when you show that and kind of enthusiasm, it comes through. The couple sees it. The family sees it. I get this on all my weddings. They're like, you have so much fun. You love what you do. And it's true. But that goes a long way. And then they all of a sudden trust you. They know that like this guy loves it. Mm-hmm. So it is very contagious. And it just sets you up for so much success. As I always say, they're going to like mediocre photos from they're going to like. Yeah.
Well, if they're photos from us.
They're going to like the mediocre photos if they love their photographer more than the most amazing photos that they hated their photographer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely used that on a wedding. I mean, not used it, but like it happened that way. I had a recent wedding. It was a very small, intimate wedding because the bride and the groom both felt insecure about being in front of large groups of people, just about their looks in general. Like they just didn't want to be on display because they didn't feel confident. And, like I feel like sometimes like a mom who thinks their child is always beautiful, like I kind of feel like that with my couples. Like if you're smiling and happy, like you look beautiful to me, I think, because you can see that like genuine emotion and happiness coming out. So like I normally do feel excited and everything. And, I was like telling the bride, I was like, oh my gosh, you look freaking amazing. Like I had her, she was curvier, which is a lot of what she was insecure about. And I had her like pop her knee across in front and like made the perfect S curve. And I was like, girl, you look amazing. And then like, she was like, oh my God, thank you for doing this. Like you're making me feel so much better. And, it really does go a long way.
And if you can add a little bit of humor to that, like usually when the bride is like, say I get those zones where like, she's uncomfortable, but you're working with her and all of a sudden you see her do that pop. Mm-hmm. You see her drop a shoulder and you comment and you like, you give her those treats of good girl. I know it's not a dog, but that's what it is. It's training a little bit, right? And you give her those and you see her eyes light up that she did it right. Don, we only have 45 minutes.
You could have said that in so many better.
I say that all the time on my wedding. I go, good girl. I'm sorry. I know you're not a dog.
Positive reinforcement.
Positive reinforcement
would be the
goes
better
a
way to
long
phrase
way.
that.
Good girl. But when you get her to do that and then you show your infection, like she's just like so into it. I've lost you forever. Look at this. Sorry. This is what I do. But usually, I'm going to keep going. Okay. Usually when I get that, I'll be like, listen, you don't need me anymore. I'm going to leave. Mm-hmm. Like I say that joke all the time. I'm like, you got this.
Right.
I'm going to go home.
Yeah. Or I'll say like, can we cancel the rest of the party and just keep doing pictures? Because you guys are nailing it. Like, yeah.
And then, of course, cool backdrops, sunsets, anything that like you're already like frigging out about and love so much. They, because a lot of times, remember, they don't get to see what's happening behind them. Right. Like, you guys should see the sunset. Don't look at it. Right. Look at each other. Then they'll come back and they'll remember how much, like, wow, that really was amazing. And he was not hyping it up at all. He was legit. Mm-hmm. And there was a fine line. You can't be, like, ridiculous about it. It does have to be genuine to a degree. Mm-hmm. But I've seen a lot of, old puss photographers who are just like, yeah. And there's no connection. There's no energy there. And then the couples give off the energy that you provide. Mm-hmm. So that is a secret that I think goes way far. I
don't think this one is that much of a secret.
Yeah.
But
I'd be surprised though how many photographers don't do it though.
Well, yeah, but it's connected to this, to showing pictures on the back of the camera.
Yeah.
So when I was working at Disney and going through like early training, like 8 or 9 years ago, I was getting observed on a session and everything. I got like perfect marks on like my whole evaluation. And then I lost points for not showing the family pictures on the back of the camera. Because they were like, you're supposed to do that to help them get excited and blah, blah. Like, but it really is a very powerful tool, especially if you use it strategically.
Yeah. Make sure they're actually good.
Well, yeah. Make sure you check them first and that they're definitely going to get that final image. Uh-huh. But, if you have like a nervous headshot client, or just anything where you can be like, okay, I want you to see what's happening. I want you to see how you look. What do you think? But it's a very good tool to use, and use it strategically to either like help people get over their nerves, or even just to like make sure they're understanding this is a collaborative effort. I want info or input from you guys. Like, don't wait until you see the pictures later to tell me you hated everything I was doing.
Right.
Like, I'm like, it's showing you're like open to feedback and that you want to work together through the session. Because, sometimes people do like keep things to themselves, and then it hurts you later when you don't know what they're thinking.
Secrets. Good girl.
Oh, God.
Want a treat?
Okay. Unless you have a piece of chocolate in your hand, we're not going to do that.
I probably do somewhere. What else? Is it my turn? What else we got?
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that I do a lot, and again, I don't know if these are super secrets, but you'd be surprised that this came up in a conversation with other photographers, is having multiple exposures ready to go. Mm-hmm. So we shoot a lot of events where right here is one exposure, and right here is another exposure, and you need to be able to shoot both. Mm-hmm. And they're not as easy as being able to just flop a light down or turn a light up. Like, you need to completely change your exposure. Mm-hmm. Being able to hold 2 to 3 exposures in your head at the same time and switch back to them quickly goes a long way, and it has served me very well. Very good example is groom. A lot of times outside, first look, she's coming down the aisle. What his exposure is, what her bright white dress is completely different. Yep. And you should know those ahead of time and be able to switch ahead of time quickly.
Well, and I think too, like you guys were talking about it in relation to like a concert where you're getting shots of what's happening on stage versus shots of the crowd who don't have the bright lights on them, but you still want to capture. Or like in a convention, it's the speaker that's up on stage and then the guests of the convention sitting a few rows back that are just barely lit by like the giant screen behind the speaker. So how, you have to flip back and forth.
Even going as far as that, where like, a lot of times in the concerts we do or on the cruises or the speaker, he's lit almost sometimes perfectly. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times it's like flash on, or flash off, click, 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 flash back on, change exposure. And this is where it came from, is we actually had this cruise discussion where they were like, yeah, I usually have 2 or 3 exposures in a row, and I'm constantly switching between this, because this is completely different than this. And everyone was kind of like, really? I was like, yeah, I thought that was...
thought that was a normal thing to do.
Am I insane? But other more seasoned photographers, these are the younger ones, were like, oh, I never thought about that. And the season's like, yeah, that's pretty normal, is having 2 or 3 exposures ready to go. Do I want to split between a bunch of... No, of course not. I want to shoot the same thing
right.
so I get the shot. But it's the situation you're in.
Mm-hmm. Well, one other like shooting related kind of secret that you just alluded to is working with your speedlight on camera. So this actually came up because when Amanda was here, when we interviewed her, afterwards we were just having a conversation about like working with newer photographers and understanding like how to use flash and lighting. And so we're like, that's a really good tip that like we do naturally, but someone new might not know. So if you're just working with on-camera flash and your flash power is too hot, let's say it's too bright. Yeah. Well, you have a few like very quick options that you barely have to move for, where the person you're photographing, like in between shots, they don't even know you're changing things. So if your speed light or if your flash is too bright, just like tipping it back away from the person can change things. Or you can like close down your aperture a little bit, and that will also decrease the amount of flash that's hitting them. It'll also decrease some of the like ambient lighting, but
correct.
We're talking like quick and dirty.
You in the trenches here.
Right. And then same thing the reverse. If you don't have enough light coming out of your speed light, opening up your aperture really quick or tilting your flash. Like every time you tilt your flash down towards a subject, you're getting more light directly on the subject, so they're going to look brighter. And that doesn't require you like pulling the camera away from your face, fiddling with the dial on the light or anything like that.
Yeah, that is something that like I just assumed was, and maybe I just don't remember when I started. But I was just like, yeah, and then we talked to some young photographers start out, and they had no idea that like, because they thought you turn it this way, it's going to be different, it's going to be like, no, it's so easy to do. It's just a quick change. And I don't know if you ever do this, but like my always is like, say you're doing some details in a reception room and something new came out like cookies, and you go over there and you just have your on-camera flash. Your other lights are pointed to the DJ. You're not making a big deal out of this. And you just instantly, like, when you get close to it, you just flip your thing back out. I do it without even thinking, though.
I know.
Like, sometimes I sit there going, like, how does my body even know to, like, remember how to do that?
Well, this was a few months ago, but actually the bar mitzvah where we got, or the bat mitzvah where we got these snazzy sweatshirts. But you were taking like behind the scenes video, and I was doing exactly that. I was like tipping my flash back like as I was taking a group shot because like the shot in front of me, or the prior shot I had taken was too bright.
A lot of times, like if I'm standing on the edge of the dance floor where I like to be, you know, I have my light where it needs to be, and then something like cool happens and I come rushing in and I just instantly just go,
Yep.
Don't even remember doing it.
Yeah, it does become instinctual.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are some little things that we do every day that maybe if you're starting out, you wouldn't think to do. Or if you're like switching from video to photo, you have a really good understanding of like ambient lighting and exposure, but like flash is all new for you.
Whole new ball game.
Yeah. Just some little tips.
Cool beans.
Yeah. You have any other? You know, we should just save them.
Secrets. For the next episode.
We'll save them for the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides, Don has to leave.
Okay, to be fair, the actual reason, should we tell them the actual reason?
No, it's you have to leave. You do have a shoot today, though.
I do have a shoot today.
So see, that's the reason. It's in 14 hours, but you do have a shoot. But more importantly, what did you shoot this week?
Okay, so this week, I had a few different fun things. So I had a wedding at a local restaurant. They have this like gorgeous backyard. I don't know what you call it when it's a business, but lakefront property.
Patio. Oh.
Like a big grassy area leading down to the lake, and they have like a pavilion out on the lake. So it was really fun. It was just a 2-hour wedding, so nice and simple, like first look, newlywed portraits, ceremony, family portraits.
Sign me up.
Bye-bye.
Give me all the big stuff and I'm out.
It was great. And then I had a freelance wedding, which was also...
That's the word, freelance?
Yes, it's the word.
Good boy. Good boy.
It was at a very interesting venue. Like, they market themselves as a wedding venue, but it's actually just an Airbnb that has things set up like what you would want at a wedding venue. So they have like a big tree out front that has a swing hanging from it. Okay. And they have like a covered patio space that looks like a bar, like a park pavilion, but it's attached to the house. And then they have this big field in the back, and they have 3 different structures set up for like 3 different ceremony options, like really different arches.
We should buy a venue.
Right? But it's just, there's no one there. Like, you just go in like a normal Airbnb, and then
all
you just
30 of your friends.
Yeah. So
I've done a couple of Airbnbs, weddings like that, where they probably weren't as detailed as that, but they did have a ceremony site and then just a bunch of stuff for people to play in. It's like, this is wild. Yeah,
it was crazy. But like, they advertised themselves as a wedding venue.
All right.
Like, it was wild. But it was nice because it was a little less pressure. You know, there wasn't really a timeline.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything else there except for me. I was the only vendor.
Yeah.
They like got takeout from Texas Roadhouse, and like the bride and her mom made all of the flowers and floral arrangements and decorations, and like I
always be nervous being the most expensive vendor, like
the only vendor. Yeah. Basically, the bride only bought her dress, like her dress, her husband's suit, and me. They were the only like full price things. Everything else was DIY. Or like I said, they literally, as she's finishing her makeup, she was on the phone with Texas Roadhouse placing the catering, like the to-go order.
That's a bold move.
Yeah. So, but it was only like 16 people or something. So, and then we got to do a shoot together.
There was 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we did a Universal shoot with Stephanie, but this was a bride, and we'll post her out here. Her name is Michelle. But her Instagram is the serial bride because she has been married now 6 times. And before you get all weirded out, it's the same dude each time.
It is.
It's more like,
and they've been together since like high school.
It's vow renewals at this point.
Yeah.
But she's had tons of weddings. Usually she likes to get married at different Disney parks, Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, Disney World, Disney Cruise, but this was her first Universal session. Mm-hmm. So Stephanie and I were the photographers. You were
I was the social media. I was the content creator.
So all that content you see on her account is all from Dawn.
Yep. Which was so fun.
Yeah. No pressure. Actually, you probably had more pressure than
I did.
Our photos.
Yeah, I did because like I only found out a few days before, I feel like.
Yeah, it was added pretty last minute.
Yeah, and so
Your portion was added.
My portion was added. So I wasn't familiar with, like, you had known her previously
Correct.
from working with her.
I photographed a wedding at Disney World and then all 4 park sessions.
Yeah.
In like 2017 or something, 2018.
So you knew her and like knew of her brand. I was walking in kind of blind and I didn't know like what her style was. Like, did she want me moving around a lot? Did she want me staying still? And they were doing the motion. Like, so I was kind of just doing everything over and over again in a million different ways. Right. But she literally just walked up and she's like, "Are you doing the videos? Here." And handed me her phone for an hour, or for like 3 hours. So yeah, it was really fun.
A lot of content. Mm-hmm. But it was a great session. It was a little busy. Mm-hmm. Since we're, here at the end of the beginning of the year, the parks are still a little tight, but we still got everything. And but they did a full vow renewal ceremony in front of Hogwarts.
Yep.
On the bridge. Mm-hmm. And then we went right into photos, videos, in all the locations.
All the things all over.
It was a little harder because usually we do those things a little bit more guerrilla style. But since they had their officiant there the whole time, and then there was 6 of us.
There were 6 of us.
6 of us.
But it did come in our favor when we had to take the train, the Hogwarts Express.
It's true. We got our own car.
Between parks, we got our own car. And that was fun, both for photo and video. But Stephanie has that like light up book which was great light for me on video because they were like perfectly illuminated.
There's nothing in photo.
And you could still see like the screen, everything that was happening out the window.
Right.
It was fun. We also ran into a friend. We
did. Shout out Jake Galati.
Yeah.
From Galati Yachts. No. From Galati Photography, one of our old friends. Good girl. He used to shoot with us at Disney for many years, and he moved back home. He has his own photography studio, and the funny thing about Jake and I is we have seen each other now probably 4 times in a row at Universal without discussing it.
When we say that Jake moved back home, he moved back to Ohio.
Yes.
He does not live locally.
No. And so we used to try and like he'd come back down to the parks and be like, "Yeah, I'm on a wedding or something." So we stopped trying, and then one day literally saw each other at Universal. Like, "Hey," and we hung out for a little bit, and then it was like a month later or 2 months later there was, and then we ran into Magic Kingdom in September, randomly at the new Country Bear show, and then we were there waiting for the bride on our Universal shoot, and I go, "Hold on a second," and I just took off.
You were like, every freaking time. And Stephanie and I are like, what is he talking about? Because you ran.
Yeah. Because he was pretty far away.
Yeah.
And there he was.
And I haven't seen him in so long. And from that distance, I was like, who is Jacob talking to? Like, I assumed it was a groom or like.
It's other Jacob.
Yeah, it's other Jake. Yeah. So, shout out Jake. It was fun seeing you.
Jake and Jacob back in the day were
They were terrors.
Hot commodity at Disney Fine Art Photography. I
feel like I came in, and if I was with the two of you, like, I felt like I was back in high school and I was getting picked on. Like I was the little.
But we picked on you because we liked you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good times. Well, what else did you do this week?
I had the end of Holiday Matsuri. Mm-hmm. So we talked about that before, but the end of that convention. Mm-hmm. And then I also had obviously that. And then this is where it just gets funny because I took a Saturday off. Mm-hmm. Because don't judge me. But please judge. So I'm gonna start this story. So gosh. 2 years ago,
strap in, folks.
Yeah. So when I was a boy, I used to watch professional wrestling.
Okay.
Loved it. Mm-hmm. Loved it so much that I got a little too emotionally involved because there was a storyline when I was like 8 or something where Jake the Snake Roberts took his snake and bit Macho Man Randy Savage, like a real snake on his arm while he was tied up on the ropes. I started crying.
Oh, no.
To which I remember my mom going like, why don't we take a break?
No more wrestling.
Yeah. So as you get older, though, I outgrew it a little bit. Didn't really watch it in high school or college or anything. So 2 years ago, I had the honor to photograph 2 professional wrestlers' wedding at Disney. And it was, they worked for WWE and another company called AEW, respectively. Married, but 2 different companies. Gasp. So it was a great wedding. You know, we became close and friends. And like, it was kind of cool. I would start watching it to see them. Because let's be honest, if you photograph someone, you know somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got that person's cell phone number. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that very often. So then my son started watching it a little bit because he was like, oh, that's cool, Daddy. You know, Dad knows that guy. He photographed him. And that turned into kind of a father-son bonding thing.
Oh, yeah.
So now we watch it. We primarily watch the other company called AEW, which stands for All Elite Wrestling. And they had come to Orlando for a pay-per-view. And so I took an actual Saturday off and bought tickets. And me, my son, and my friend and his son, we all went. We had really good seats. I'll show you some video. We're on video a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah, because we were on the camera facing the camera side, so the camera was facing us, and we're lower bowl. We're not in the stands, like in the floor seats. We like to be, but we're like 3 rows from like the edge, and we're in it a lot.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a lot of fireworks and screaming and yay and booing and the whole thing.
Wow.
And we had a blast. But to give up a Saturday during this time of year, you got to know that I like my son a lot. But it was really fun.
Yeah, that's fun. We've gone to see a couple shows out at Full Sail.
Yeah.
Like the smaller ones that they do.
That's the
there.
NXT guys. It's the like kind of developmental brand of WWE is the big one. And they said the couple too has even like when they came to Orlando, WWE, she got me tickets. She comped a couple tickets, and I took my son, and we saw her, and and it was fun.
That's cool.
But yeah, my son prefers the AEW product more than the WWE product, but it's all the same. And as you know, they're all intermingling. They all marry each other. They're like, oh, I hate this company, I hate this company. And then you find out, oh, he's dating her, and they're dating each other, and they're all married, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's all one big thing. And that's what I did this week.
Cool. I'm enjoying this segment where we don't have to list 18 different things.
That's
that
true.
We did in the week.
Like, it sounds impressive. Like, I shot 400 weddings this week. But in reality, it's like, please kill me. Yeah. What have I done?
I hope
Bad
it's
girl.
reflected in like our energy levels during the episodes that we're not.
Well, I heard that you can just fake the energy to like.
It's a good tip. Good secret.
But again, I'm serious though. I don't fake it.
Yeah.
It's 100% real with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I do make sure to show it though. Some people I think have the energy, but they don't show it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And don't know that showing it is going to make an impact on the day. Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay. So.
Non-photography corner.
I hear there's some things you want to rant about.
Yeah, we're doing rants today, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you need to go first because I'm concerned for you.
So I'm going to rant about my food recently.
Okay.
Because I feel like my food is mad at me. And it's getting a little angry. So first off, I like avocados.
Uh-huh.
I'm a millennial apparently, and I like a little avocado toast in the morning.
Millennial from the Pacific Northwest.
So I usually get some fresh avocados, a bundle of them, and I will cut it in half, and I will get some sourdough toast, a slice of tomato, and an avocado with some pepper. I love it. It's like my favorite thing I look forward to every day. Mm-hmm. So I bought some avocados, and you can never tell when they're good or bad.
Sure.
There's a 38-second time period between. So I got this bundle, and they were squishy, but not like. So I was like, okay, they're good. And I cut it, and it was a little brown, but sometimes that brown spots are still good. I get it all ready, I put it up, and it tasted like soap ass. Oh, no. It was the worst taste. Like, I couldn't get the taste out of my mouth.
Oh, no.
I was so mad. And they all were like that. So I had to throw the whole bundle away. So I buy a new bushel, if you will. Little squishy, right? I go in, I cut the first one. It looks great. Oh, the color is so perfect. But then I try to scoop it. It's like hard as plastic.
Oh, no. What the heck?
So
But it was squishy from the outside?
a little bit,
Oh, no.
but the inside. So I had to throw that one. But then I left them out. They're fine now. But all I wanted was a damn avocado. And I went through and that's like $900 worth of avocados that I just went through, for the record, okay? Even Aldi avocados.
Yes.
Still expensive. So that was, okay, so this was all in this week, right? This is all in 1 week.
So phase one.
Avocados done. Fine. Then, the other day, my kids wanted we have some Costco pizzas in our freezer. They wanted a Costco pizza for dinner. I was like, you know what? Absolutely. Let's all have a Costco. We'll all share it.
Okay.
So I cook it. Take and bake. Yum, yum, yum. I give them theirs. I'm not going to eat right away because I was working on something. I finally go to eat. It's cooled down just fine, right? I take a bite. It's not hot. But this little piece of liquid hot magma sauce comes and burns my lip. If you can see right here. I'm trying to hide. It hurts so bad. It looks like I got like a little herp. It's not. It's pizza sauce. My one true love. My dirty lover.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Just burned the ever-living hell out of me.
Oh, no.
So, okay. That's great. Now I deal with that. I went to the wedding with it. It was fine. Cool. Look like I'm a, deviant. So then a few days later.
At 41.
Yeah. 3 days later, I went to Costco because we had to get some Costco stuff. And I'll admit, I got influenced by one of the old ladies selling stuff. But she had a big thing of hummus and these little non-dippers. And I tried one and it was delicious. And I was like, you know what? I want some hummus. But I didn't get it because that wasn't on the list.
Okay.
I made an entire circle to come back. I was like, you know what? I'm getting this tub of hummus, this gallon of hummus. Because you know what? It's going to be good. And so, as you know, Costco doesn't have bags or anything. So I have it all in my car, just loosey-goosey. And it takes me multiple trips to bring all those boxes inside. Last thing I grab is the hummus and something else. As I pull the hummus out of the car and start walking through the garage, the hummus drops and hits the side and goes all over the garage. And for some reason, without any notification, I just screamed, "There is no God!" Just at the top of my lungs. Like, I was so mad. It's not funny.
It's a little...
Yeah. So then I just walked away in a huff. And then like 20 minutes later, I came back and scooped it up and cleaned it.
Cleaned it all. That's the worst part. You have to come back and clean it all.
The only good news, though, that I bought the 8-gallon tub of hummus. There's still half left, which is more than enough hummus for a human being. So like in the end, I still have some hummus.
Okay.
But man, was I just like, really, food? This is what we're going to do this week? That's my rant. Food. I don't know what I did to piss off food.
I think there's a direct connection between having less work and having more time.
Because I would have not
To
eaten any of
realize
this.
food is out to get you.
Yeah. I would have eaten a granola bar and a bag of chips and been out the door.
Making avocado toast.
Too much time on my hands.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a God, but at that moment, I was 100% sure there was no God.
Certainly not.
After my lip and my avocados and my garage hummus.
Does your garage smell like hummus now?
No, surprisingly it doesn't. I aired it out. I left the door open.
Okay. Well,
It's been so cold that the hummus did not cook. If it would have been peak summer.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gross. Okay, well, my rant is much smaller. It's maybe not quite as damaging as yours.
Yeah. Do you still believe in God after this? All right.
So, I recently got a new MacBook Pro.
Okay, you don't have to rub it in.
I'm sorry that I got one before you did.
It's fine.
However, I was unboxing everything, and Apple
Is that how you unbox?
just like this.
That?
But Apple does such a good job of like the layers of this like paper and
It's all about the presentation.
It was great. And so I pull the laptop out first, and I got the like space black color, I think.
Yeah, it's a darker one. It's not this one.
It's not this one. And then right underneath it is like the charging cable, all coiled up, and it is black.
It matches.
Matches the MacBook, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then there's like the booklet that it comes with, and underneath the booklet is the charging block, which is white. Why Why? Why? Please explain. Why when in the history of Apple, all of their charger cables are white?
That's not their cord.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I just have a little thingy.
It's a match. Well, here's what I always ask when, like, Crystal is on a rant.
No.
Do you want to be heard, helped, or hugged? That's not the word I use. The last one is not the word I use. But for you, I'll say heard, helped, or hugged. Which part of this rant do you want?
I just want to be heard.
Okay.
Because why? I don't understand. Like, they make this in white. I've seen it.
Does
I mean, not this exact one.
Would you prefer...
But they have the braided cable.
Would you prefer this in gray or this in white? With your same color MacBook.
Either one.
Okay.
I just want these to match because they're friends. They always go together.
Yeah.
They never don't go together.
Your eyes are definitely not crazy right now.
That's my rant. I don't understand. And it's fine.
So you've been heard. You've been helped. I'm not going to hug you.
I don't deserve to be hugged.
You don't deserve.
I'm too angry.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, let's get a rant. Let's just show off your MacBook now. Let me go get it.
It's quite beautiful. Let me tell you, it edits these podcast episodes like a dream.
You know, I don't do it. That's why I'm the talent. Well, let me see the cord. Does the cord match?
I mean, it matches the keys.
Then this.
And then that.
So you don't think that, like, if this is plugged in down here and this looks like this, right? You would never see it?
I will see it.
Okay. So
I will see it go into my wall, into a white charger block. Why are they not the same?
So
That's all.
I'm trying to help, and you want to be heard.
I said heard. Also, I got spoiled with this MacBook Pro where you could charge on either side.
Oh, because it was
And
USB-C?
now, because it was USB-C, and now it's back to the MagSafe, which I like
Sure.
because I prefer where this like just pops off easily.
But
it's only on one side. I went to sit down somewhere with it, and I was like, oh, I gotta wrap this around. But I do think this cord is longer than the other one, so it's fine. But
all right.
anyways.
Well, thanks for ranting. Now our sponsorship for Apple is
I'm just
down
killing
the
sponsorships
tubes.
left
Yeah.
and right. No Rebecca Yaros, no.
the hummus guy. I had Big Hummus on the line that was going to sponsor us, but that's out. All right. Well, let's go eat some hummus.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.